Okay, what we're looking at right now is the teacher view of Google Classroom. I can see all the classes that I have currently open and that are working right now. They have students in them and I can post to them currently. I also have all of my classes archived, which is then linked to previous things as well. So things that the nice thing about Google Classroom is that it also plays along with it creates folders in Google Drive. Okay, so this is an important note. Please note this. If your student is one that likes to organize and put everything into folders, let's say in Google Drive, okay? So when a teacher creates a Google Classroom, automatically something is thrown into a folder called Google Classroom. Let's see if I can find it right now. I think they're pretty good. Oh, here it is. It's Classroom right here. So it just very unobtrusively says Classroom. It doesn't look like it's anything big deal. But this is super important. If you have a student that likes to move things around and stuff, and they create their own folders and they color code them in Google Classroom, please tell them, please, please, please. This is like really super, super, super important. Please tell them, do not touch the classroom folder. We have had people say, Mrs. Garrison, things are like magically disappearing. All of a sudden, like the dog ate my homework, like just echoes of the dog ate my homework is in the back of my head. And Mrs. Pohan or I will be like, wait a second, did you organize your Drive folder? And they're like, yeah. Okay, so just tell them, please do not touch Google Classroom folder. I will also tell them that in a different video series for them. But as a parent, if you can let them know, please do not touch that folder, because this is going to house all the work for your Google Classroom. So these are all assignments that I have given them. And in fact, in here, I have something called, it says templates, do not edit. Google creates that for me. That's what's so beautiful about this. It just does so much work for you. I'm going to close my Google Tasks over here. Just so you know, this is Google Tasks. That's a really wonderful thing. And I'm going to, at the end, post a website for you about Google organizational tools. Really important. If you have a student that struggles with organization, there's some really great tools, including Google Tasks, which right now I'm going to exit out of because that's not what this is about. But okay, so back to this Google Drive. Google Classroom has a folder in there. Please don't touch it. Excellent. All right, so back to Classroom here. So let's see, where am I? All right, so I want to make sure that I'm in my space for Google Classroom. I can see that this is me by my butterfly. That's my icon. Your students also will have an icon. So if you have more than one student who maybe, I mean, they don't need to share a Chromebook, but maybe they did or do sometimes, and you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at. Well, make sure that you're logged on to whichever one you need to be logged on to. So right now I'm showing the teacher view. So I know I'm in my teacher account right now, which is right here, the butterfly. Okay, so I did a create VR class in over the summer. And so this is what it looks like, okay? So you have the stream, which is basically like Facebook kind of. Like I post something, the thing I posted comes up on top. Okay, so that's nice. And also when I post things in classwork, it shows up in the stream as well. Okay, so that's a nice feature. But if I just want to make an announcement or I just want to say hello, when I click on here, I can add lots of different things. I can add a video. I can add a link. I can decide who I post it to. Note to self. As a teacher, I can post to some students and not to others. So if you're talking to somebody who is in your child's class, they might have a different assignment. That's completely possible. You could say to your friend, but I see this on my students' Google Classroom. Well, the teacher may have assigned something to some people and something to somebody else. And actually, that's a really great learning strategy. We have something called a jigsaw that where certain students are researching and they're going to teach other students.